So meadowsweet. So we've got our fennel, we've got our ginger, we've got our licorice. Meadowsweet, they first got aspirin from. I might not write clearly, but I can spell, I assure you. They first got aspirin from it. Probably heard of non-steroidal. It's not steroids, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. NSAIDs. Meadowsweet is considered to be a natural anti-inflammatory. I would just say this from bundles of experience, practically in the real world. We talk about this. Meadowsweet can be a little bit of an antiplatelet. You have four main aspects to your blood, and remember this. I'm trying to give you the 4-foot overview. I don't want to get too technical on you too quickly on these early videos as we find our feet. So in the blood, you've got plasma. I like to number things; it makes it easy to remember. So you've got 4 components to your blood. Your plasma. This is liquid. It's only water, like most of your body. What's water? Well, it's an oxygen molecule, isn't it? With what? 2 parts hydrogen. You've got red blood cells. You've got white blood cells. Now your white blood cells are part of your immune system. Your immune system is kind of like your garbage collectors. For the sake of going a little bit deeper, I want to teach you 2 quick immune cells. Just want you to remember them because, you know, I promise we'd slowly start learning this together. Neutrophils are the first things that are normally on site, and then I'll teach you another immune cell just off the top of my head. Macrophages. What's macro mean? Big. These are actually like the big eaters. They look at, people draw these almost like Pac-Man. You ever seen Pac-Man? So that's 2. So you've got your immune system, you've got your white blood cell with hemoglobin. This carries oxygen. Old school books on minerals and natural medicine would say iron and oxygen have an affinity for each other. We'll go there another time. What's the 4th thing that you've got? Platelets. This is what clots wounds when you're bleeding, internally or externally. So meadowsweet can be a little bit antiplatelet. Meadowsweet is, just to wrap up, so I'm trying to make this very quick, it's called an equalizer. How many naturopaths and herbalists refer to this as? So meadowsweet is an equalizer. Now, we could do videos on this that would last days, we won't do it, but you've heard of acid and alkaline. I won't bore you, but being in the industry, you've probably heard about alkalinity, and then you've probably heard about hydrochloric acid in the stomach. There's been a debate about different pH levels, what they should be in different parts of the body. The reason I've just started with meadowsweet as a quick one tonight, they call meadowsweet an equalizer. So the idea is, naturopath may be taught whatever's going on in the stomach, in terms of acid, and acid tends to come up. So let me just show you finally as one last slide. When you eat, I'm not a very good drawer. Say this is someone's head here. Your esophagus is here. You've got a sphincter. What's a sphincter do? It tightens. Now things should be going this way, but what would happen if that esophageal sphincter opened and relaxed? Well, the contents of your stomach looks a bit like the letter J, if you include the esophagus. The contents can very easily, it's often acid sitting at the bottom here, come up. Now, some herbalists have used herbs with the intention of closing this sphincter. That's something we'll talk about another time. So at home, quickly in summary, you've got fennel seed. We said that's a digestive. Read some studies. Women, menopause, mildly relaxing. Ginger root, anti-nausea. I like to mix it with anti-parasites. That's not standard herbalism. That's me. And then 4, licorice. And I'll give you a caveat. Licorice for breathing and respiratory type stuff. Licorice, you've got to be a bit careful with. This is one I would check out with a healthcare practitioner. Having said that, they sell it in the supermarket. Breathing, digestion. There's been some studies on stomach ulcers, which you could talk to your doctor about. So speak to someone in the know that understands this. Studies. And then what's the 3rd thing with licorice? It's mildly steroidal. In fact, licorice has been known to potentiate different types of steroids, cortisone, prednisone. Drugs have different names in many different parts of the world. So licorice is one you could talk to someone in the know, but you've got 4, fennel, ginger, licorice, and a bit of a wild card, meadowsweet. Grows in the meadow, Aspirin they got from, some people actually thought aspirin first came from willow bark. That's a different conversation, we'll talk soon.